Tyler, thank you very much. In a health alert, the Wellness and Stress Clinic of Memphis is on a mission to provide uninsured and underinsured residents with the resources they need to improve their health and reach their economic and healing goals. Here to talk more about the clinic and how you can get involved are some of the people behind this mission. Please welcome Pastor Diane Young, Dr. Peter Hostler, and Dr. Austin Dalgo. Welcome. Glad to have everybody here. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Good. Glad to hear that for sure. Pastor Young, we also know you as the mother of the mayor of Memphis as well, Paul Young's mom. Let's start with you. You are seem to be on a mission of healing. Why be a part of this?
Well, the Wellness and Stress Clinic of Memphis, glad to be with you too.
Sure.
The Wellness and Stress Clinic of Memphis actually started, it was a vision of myself and my husband's because we were seeing a holistic care. We started out with mental health, being sure that we paid attention to that, and then wellness became a thing that we wanted to do. And in doing that, I was able to meet some wonderful partners.
Yes.
Dr. Hostler, Peter Hostler from Rhodes College, and Dr. Austin Dalgo. He's also from Labana and Methodist. And so we took together, and UT Health Science Center, and together we were able to put together a clinic with their help. We have a new president or chairman, which is Althea Green, and together we have we're working to be sure that we can continue to take care of people who don't have insurance, people who can't afford it. And it's amazing how many people in our community need services but don't have money to pay for it.
You got a superstar team here with you today.
I do.
And working at the clinic for sure. Dr. Hostler, let's talk with you about primary care, social work, case management, emotional fitness, legal services, so much more. Why are these things so necessary for our communities today?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of these things are things that many of us have access to just as a function of our jobs, having insurance, or having access to enough income to hire attorneys and things like that. And the reality is that we have a lot of our neighbors and folks in the city who can't do that. And so I think the goal was, as much as possible, to make it so that if somebody came in with a need, we could attempt to meet that need. So the goal from the very beginning, as Pastor said, it was already kind of a spiritual and mental health counseling center, and the goal was to just, what can we add to that that's going to kind of help people get the most out of their life and their wellness.
Dr. Dalgo, another, I guess, important key is dealing with what's called, I guess, preventative care as well. Those screenings that so many of us put off or don't have access to. How does that play into all of this?
Yeah, I think that so many people, diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease, those are all silent conditions. Right. Most of us don't know we have it if we do. A third of people who have diabetes don't even know they have it.
Don't even know.
Don't even know. And so it's a big deal here in the South, especially in the Mid-South and in low-income neighborhoods. It's even higher incidence there. And so our goal is to see people, regardless of ability to pay, get their blood work done, do their physical exams, and really take care of them as a whole person. And we don't just want to do that with medicine, we want to do that with sitting down and really listening to people, really hearing what they have to say and figuring out ways that they can reach the goals that they want for their lives.
So you're making sure people are not only seen but also heard, and you know what they're going through.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the holistic approach that Pastor talked about. We want to make sure that they're well internally and externally.
Right. Pastor Young, you and I have known each other for some time. Put a face on this for me here. What does this mean to some of the people who've had a chance to come through the clinic and perhaps their lives have really been changed and improved because of this?
You know, I think Dr. Dalgo can maybe touch on this better, but we've had people to come in whose lives depended on them seeing a doctor.
Are you
that
serious?
Day.
Really?
We have had that. And we were able to get them to the doctor and let them live. You know, sometimes the difference between being able to pay and not pay is life and death. And so the clinic is so important because it allows people who can't afford it to come in, and it's just the vision of it, so we can help those who cannot. Without money, without price, they can come in.
That says a lot for sure. Dr. Hostler, when it comes to the entire community being a part of this and being a part of, I guess, this collaborative or partnership, What does that also say when it comes to overall healing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the model of the clinic is, we haven't mentioned this, but there's a ton of students there. I have undergraduates there. I had undergraduates who were really helpful in helping us figure out our COVID clinics. We have M1s and M2s from UTHSC. We have social work students from the University of Memphis. And so, like, on top of like providing the service, our other hope is that we're helping providers see the kind of joy and the ways in which they can really have a strong quality of life and make an impact by working in these clinics that might be in lower resource neighborhoods.
And Dr. Dalgo, as the community as a whole, how can we all step up? We have some information right there on the screen. Why should we be a part of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because we all want our neighbors to succeed and do well as well. I think, you know, if we look at the Bible, if we look at any system of ethics, we want to treat each other well, right? We want to recognize the other person's humanity right next to us. And so I think the reason is they're our neighbors and we should love them. I think the way to do it is volunteering, giving, coming to visit the clinic and learn what we do and learn the stories of the cancers cured and the diabetes treated. And I think you'll catch the vision.
So this seems like a ministry, Pastor, as well?
It is definitely a ministry. And everybody here and others are involved in this ministry. We've got a great board. We've got a great team. But we really want the community to come out and help us, particularly during the month of November.
Let's spread the word for sure. We're going to have you all back so we can talk about this more often.
Thank
That'd be great.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you all. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Always.
Tell the mayor I said hello.